I don't know about you, but I need to talk about Pac-Man Circle. Now, if you're not aware of what that is, go seek it out. Pac-Man Circle is the 6th episode of Secret Level. Secret Level is an animated anthology series where each episode is based on a different video game, like with the exception of one, which is Dungeons and Dragons, but a different nostalgic or video game, I guess. The 6th episode is called Pac-Man Circle, and the discussion I've seen about it online has been very divided. This is a radical shift tonally from anything we've ever seen around our little Pac-Man figure, the colorful, bright character, the animated we've ever seen. And I need to talk about it. So, hey there, welcome back to GenXGrownUp. I'm John, and I am a GenXGrownUp. Thank you for checking out this video. And this is not a, what did you miss? The Easter eggs. Yes, there are cool Easter eggs in this. There's a UGSF logo, which is the Namco Cinematic Universe, the Galaxy Space Force. There's a lot of Pac-Man iconography in like the handle of the chosen sword and stuff like that. I need to talk full spoilers about thematic elements in this. So here we go. So again, if you haven't seen it, all spoilers moving forward. So this is your warning. So this starts, like, I didn't know what to expect. And many people have said that I've read online and comments on other videos have said, this is the worst thing ever. It's horrible. Nothing is that hyperbolically damaging or horrible, but I understand people didn't like it. In fact, when I first watched, it's the first one, actually it's the only one I've watched of the series so far because I was eager to see it. When I first watched it, I neither liked nor disliked it. I was confused. I didn't understand. I didn't have an avenue into it to understand. The more I've read, the more I get beyond the fact that it's some clever product placement, but thematically what we're talking about. So going forward, we're talking about spoilers. The short's only 10 minutes long. The short opens with this character you don't know yet. He's going to be quickly identified as the Chosen, being born or ejected or something from like this embryonic stasis tube that we've seen in so much sci-fi. He coughs up a bunch of, goo he's been suspended in liquid, and he's quickly told by this floating Pac-Man-ish orb, which, by the way, not Pac-Man. It is a woman's voice doing it, so I'm guessing Pac-Man, there's Ms. Pac-Man. There's clearly more than one, so this is a Pac character. This is Pac Orb or whatever. Let's call it Pac Orb, whatever this is. Quickly tells the Chosen a quick orientation. Here's the deal. First he says, you are the Chosen. What that means, we don't know. Only you can escape the maze. So here we go. Finally, we got reference to a maze, which, by the way, escaping the maze, was that ever the point of Pac-Man? I guess there really wasn't a point. It was just, endless monotony. So maybe over the years, escaping the maze is the new goal. Okay. And telling the Chosen, you must eat or be eaten. Yeah, and we're not talking waka 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 waka. We're talking some brutality. So then begins this montage of the Chosen under the tutelage of the orb, Pac Orb, learning how to fight, how to hunt, and ultimately how to eat or be eaten, eat to survive. And that montage is visceral, and it's gory, and it's not at all what I was expecting from a Pac-Man animated short. And I think that's the big sideswipe here that many people, it's not what they expect. And I have learned over the years, just because it's not what you expect doesn't mean it's bad. It means there's a dissonance between what you expected and what there is. And that leads people to say, this is terrible. And by the way, terrible, good, bad, I have no interest in telling anyone they're wrong if they don't like it. I just want to explore what it is I found most fascinating about it. The next little bit of the short, so effectively now we have the Chosen. He understands the rules. He's learning how to eat and how to survive. And he gets these great quotes that are probably the most connective tissue and the most narrative going on, where the Pac Orb, in a series of voiceover as this montage is wrapping up, says, first, the Chosen says, you can't eat a ghost. And you see the ghosts, like in the darkness, in the mist. You're like, oh, damn, there's ghosts now in the maze. And the Pac Orb says several things that I wrote down here just to make sure. Of course you can. You can eat them over and over again. Okay. Then she says, never trust their eyes. Okay. You can't run from your ghosts forever, and eventually you'll have to face them. Now, all of that, put in a regular Pac-Man context, that's accurate. Those are the rules of the original arcade game that we know. But here's the next thing that I found really fascinating. So those ghosts in the darkness are actually just the luminescent face part of this huge monster, which goes back for me to the genesis of the Pac-Man enemies. They were never initially ghosts. They even say on the bezel instructions, they're monsters. You know, over the years they have been observed as and reinterpreted as, and then, you know, we call them all ghosts now, but initially they were just monsters. And the ghost, in the case of this short, is actually just the visible part of a larger monster. And the monster, what a beast. He's like this giant, this ape gorilla thing, and he's brutal. I mean, just the first encounter with the Chosen, just smash, 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 and he nearly kills him. Then comes, I mean, at this point, is anything a surprise, but the big twist in this is the orb, the Pac orb, has been planning all along to use the Chosen. It's chosen as a vessel, right? The Pac orb brutally embeds itself into the back of the Chosen, and together they kind of symbiotically metamorph into this giant, bloody, like tendrily kind of Pac-Man shaped beast that just destroys the monster, the ghost. And in fact, also sends the other monsters turning blue, scampering back into the darkness. So what this tells me, my interpretation is the Chosen is a power pellet. This Pac orb seems to be growing and harvesting living entities as power pellet vessels to serve its own desire to escape the maze. So all those instructions of you must eat to survive, you must eat for me to survive. You know, you must face your ghosts. Well, I will use you for me to face my ghosts. The subtext all along is the things I'm training you to do are just to get you ready for me to consume you and use you to my ends, which is really dark and, again, not what I think most people were expecting out of a Pac-Man cartoon. And at the end of the short, we see yet another Chosen being born, falling out of the cylinder, and the cycle starts again. And we even see the orb banging its head against the exit that closes, saying, you know, the strength and repetition, or repetition is strength, or whatever. So the repetition is trying over and over to use these things as vessels to escape the ghosts and the maze, which is, at a 10,000 foot view, is what Pac-Man is about, except that the power pellets weren't living entities that we destroy. Weird. And it's a lot there. And look, I don't have any answers. What I have are these questions and these observations. I'm super curious to hear what you have thought about this, and whether, you know, thinking about it with this breakdown has changed at all what you think about it. And now that we know this was actually all orchestrated by Namco to tie into this upcoming 2D action platformer called Shadow Labyrinth, that is, like Pac-Man Circle, loosely based on the overarching themes of Pac-Man, but with this grittier and more ominous and visceral, bloody tone. It's very different, and I'm still coming to terms with it and figuring out where does it live in what part of my brain where I think about Pac-Man does this fit? And right now it's sitting outside as being something that is a mirror of, but not a part of, the Pac-Man mythology that I know. Anyway, it's interesting. It's fascinating. I wanted to talk about it, get my thoughts out there, but more importantly, I want to hear what you have to say in the comments, or if you have articles that you've read, or it's fascinating. I love when something hits me absolutely unexpectedly. It's exciting and fun when so many things are just a retread, and something super different It meets with resistance, but it also kind of makes you think, which I like. Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments. I'll throw links to a couple previous videos, Pac-Man related, I guess, here and here. Certainly hope you found something to enjoy in this video. Can't wait to talk to you again and talk to you in the comments next time. Bye-bye.